Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with part 2 of your review video for the summer packet. All right, let's get right down to it. Order of operations. Remember, I will not use that naughty P word. I will not use it. No, you can't make me. All right, remember, then the order of operations. First comes parentheses, right? Okay, and then come exponents. Exponents are next. And then multiplication and division have equal value. So you do them from left to right. Okay, they are equal importance, have equal importance from left to right. Okay, so you don't always do one before the other. You do which one comes first in the equation as we read. And then the same is true for addition and subtraction. And this point here is why I don't teach that P word. Okay, from left to right. Okay, so when I come up with this first problem here, it says 5 minus 4 plus 2. Now, to tell you the truth, I would do this not using the order of operations. I would see I have 5 positives and 2 positives, therefore I have 7 positives. There's 4 negatives, and so the answer is going to be 3. I'll show you how to do that. It's a totally acceptable way to do it. But for now, let's do it using the order of operations. So I'm going to go from left to right. So 5 minus 4 is 1, plus 2 is 3, and there you go. But again, I like to think of how many positives I have, how many negatives I have, and then I combine them. Okay, here we have 12 divided by 4 times 5. Okay. The P word might mislead somebody to think to do 4 times 5 first. That's why I don't use it. I'm going to go left to right. I'm going to 12 divided by 4, which is 3, and 3 times 5 is 15. Now, some of you are going, man, I'm really good at math, and you're not getting 15. You're not as good as you think you are. Not yet, anyway. We'll get you there, as long as you're willing to work hard. If you can give up the ego and say, you know what, I'm willing to learn, oh my gosh, we can learn so much together. But if you're going to play the I know everything card and not listen, then, oh, you're going to have such a rough time. Okay, C is a little more complicated, but I see some parentheses, so I'm going to go inside the parentheses, see if there's anything I can do. And sure enough, I can. All right, I've got 10 minus 12 plus 3. The 12 is negative. By the way, I think this parenthesis, the quantity, is going to end up being 1, using my little way of doing it. But let's find out. So this is going to be 10 minus 12, which is negative 2, plus 3, which is positive 1. So my new problem is 6 times 1 minus 15. Now, if you're having trouble with this, think there's 10 positives. I'm backing up a little bit. There's 10 positives. And then there are also 12 negatives. If you cancel, positives and negatives cancel. If you cancel 10 of these with 10 of those, won't there just be 2 left? 2 what? 2 negatives, right? Because there's more negatives than positives? Yeah, I don't know if you realize that yet, but the problem 10 minus 12 is very similar to the problem 12 minus 10. Okay? You end up with a very similar answer. This one ends up being negative because the negative number is farther from 0 and therefore has more weight. What do I mean by that? Well, let's think of a number line as a seesaw. Okay, and let's think of the problem 10 minus 12. Now, if I call this 0, then 10 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out here, right? And 12 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Negative 12. The negative 12 is farther from 0 than the 10 is. So it has more weight. If you and I are the same exact size and we sit the same exact distance from the center, well, we're going to stay balanced, right, on a seesaw? But if you move further away, you have more of the board. So let's pretend the numbers weigh the same, but this one has more board on the left-hand side. Okay, so this balance is going to tip toward it. So when I do a problem like this, I think of 12 minus 10, and then I know that the negative carries more weight, so therefore it's negative 2. In my first case, or my counterexample here, not counterexample, but inverse example, my positive carries more weight. It's farther from the origin. So, for example, if I asked you to do 5 minus 8, well, I could do 8 minus 5, and there's not a person in the room that can't do 8 minus, well, maybe your dog can't do 8 minus 5, but that's beside the point. All right, well, the answer over here is going to be the same, only the 8 is farther from 0, so it gets the sign. Yeah, that's pretty simple stuff. Okay, so here I have to follow the order of operations. The number next to parentheses means multiply, so I'm going to multiply. Then I have to take 15 away. Now remember, this is the same problem as that, only the sign will be the inverse. Well, that would be 9. So this must be negative 9. There we go. Okay, coming over here to this one. Well, let's see. I got to go inside. There's 2 sets of parentheses. These are brackets. They just count as another set of parentheses. I always start on the innermost set of parentheses. So it looks like I've got addition and multiplication. So I'm going to multiply first and get 21. And then I'll have the plus 2, and that'll be 23. So now my problem looks like 3. And then there's a 23 where the parentheses are, minus 10, and a plus 4. So I come back inside and I go 23 minus 10 would be 13. And plus 4. Okay, and so 3 times 13 is 39 plus 4, and that's going to be 43. Yeah, there we go. 43 is my answer. Okay, notice I'm not using a calculator. Not that you can see me, but trust me, I'm so fast. I'm faster than you can use a calculator on these because I've practiced. Okay, so positives and negatives. I talked a little bit about them. Here's 5 minus 12. Well, just do 12 minus 5. So that's going to be 7. So this will be negative 7. Okay, I'll be right there, little buddy. Sorry, my son wants to go to bed, and I'm in the middle of a video, but I'll be there as soon as possible. All right. Now here on this one, the signs are the same. So I have 17 negatives, and I have 3 more negatives. Well, how many negatives do I have? Well, it's the same problem as this. There's 17 positives, 3 more positives. There's 20 positives. Well, here I have 17 negatives and 3 negatives. I have 20 negatives, or negative 20. See how simple this is? You shouldn't be getting this stuff wrong. Okay, here's a long one with the order of operations. I can do the order of operations. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, though, the answer is going to be 2. I can tell just by looking at it. But let's do the order of operations. Negative 6 plus 10. Well, 10 minus 6 is 4. Okay, there we go. The 10 had more weight, right, because it was farther from 0. Okay, then minus 7 plus 5. And so I got a 4 minus 7. Well, 7 minus 4 is 3, but the 7 has more weight, so it's a negative 3 plus 5. That's like 5 minus 3, which is 2, and the 5 has more weight, so it's positive. The answer is 2. Now, that's what I told you it would be. Here's how I did it. Okay, and you're welcome to do it my way. Okay, look, I've got 6 negatives and 7 negatives. Therefore, how many negatives do I have? Well, I have 13 negatives. And I have 10 positives and 5 positives, so therefore I have 15 positives. Well, 13 negatives, 15 positives, there's going to be 2 positives left when everything cancels. I like my way better, but this is the accepted way, and you're welcome to use it. All right, coming down here, some of you get screwed up about negatives, and dividing and multiplying. Look, just count. Count the negatives, okay? Count the negatives. Count the negatives. Okay? If there's an odd number, of negatives, the answer will be negative. For example, 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. How many times did I say the word negative? Once. It's negative 12. How about negative 3 times negative 2 times negative 1 times 5 times negative 1 times negative 2. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's see here. I'm going to count the negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 negatives, so the answer is going to be negative. 3 times 2 is 6, 30, 60. Negative 60 is the answer. Okay, if you get an even number, then your answer is going to be positive. Okay? Positive. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Okay, negative 5 times negative 3 times negative 2 times negative 1 is going to be a positive 30. How do I know? Because I'll say the word negative 4 times. Negative 5, there's once, times negative 3, twice, times negative 2, 3 times, times negative 1, 4 times. It's a positive answer. It's so simple. Don't get it wrong. It's too easy. All right, so let's go ahead and do this one. 64 divided by negative 32, the answer is going to be negative. 64 divided by 32, 2. There you go. This one, negative 5 times negative 4 times 3. James, are you listening? Say it real loud. Say, yes, I'm listening.
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, James, I'm going to say the word negative. I want you to count how many times I say it. Are you ready? Okay, negative 5 times negative 4 times 3.
3.
Wait. How many times did I say the word negative? Negative 5 times negative 4 times 3.
2.
2 times. That's an even number. This will be a positive answer. So, thank you, James, for your help. My special guest star, James Lawrence, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to start his first day at kindergarten. Oh boy, he's so excited. 5 times 4 is 20. Times 3 is 60. The answer is 60. There you go. Okay, last one, and then I think we're going to stop the video here because it's getting a little bit long. I'll do the fractions and stuff tomorrow. All right. 6 times negative 1 times negative 2 times 4 times negative 1. There's 3 negatives in there, so it's going to be a negative answer. 24, 48. There we go. 48. Negative 48. There you go. All right, I'll tell you what, I am going to do part of the... turn that off, James. Turn that off.
I did.
Okay, because you started to interfere with this one. Okay, we're going to do parts. We're going to do parts A and B really quick. 2 7s plus 3 7s. Hey, do you know what you're counting here? You're counting your 7ths. This number means there's 2 1/7. Oops. 2 1/7. Okay? This number means there's 3 more 1/7. Okay? So the top number tells you how many 7ths you have. The top number tells you how many 7ths you have. If I have 2 7ths and I have 3 more 7ths, don't I have 5 7ths? It's just like counting dogs. If I have 2 dogs, oh, and I'm a wonderful artist, roof, roof, and I have 3 more dogs, wait, give them long ears there, okay, roof, roof, roof. How many dogs do I have? Don't I have 5 dogs? Okay, when I'm counting fractions, I'm just counting the 7ths in this case. Which in B, I've got 11ths. I've got 5 11ths. Okay, and I take away 3 of those 11ths. What's left? Duh, 2 11ths. It's too simple. Don't make it hard. Okay, we're going to call video. It's bedtime for my son, and I will pick up with fractions tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody.